Thank you so much, Nomad, coming into the first of two upper bracket semifinals here. Liquid against Spirit. I love a nice little fun chuckle to an interview right there.
Yeah. Always. What is that guy Blitz doing? What is he up to? Haven't seen him in a while. Definitely helping the team. Probably
like 8
online,
coaches on
you know.
that team.
Yeah, it gets very difficult when you have too many cooks in the kitchen. But so far, it's been working out for Liquid and Spirit. Honest Dota, honest draft. This is how they play. We've seen this combination between Keeper of the Light and Underlord play by Tidebound. It didn't work out for them, and it was exactly the same lane that they were playing when PARIVISION ran Terrorblade plus Ringmaster. So we are having kind of a 4 heroes, and we already know the outcome. But I think this time around, Team Spirit will be playing better because you're playing as Underlord. Your hero doesn't really do much at these early stages. You're also going to be playing into a lot of slow, and they're going to swap things around because of that. They're going to put Miposhka so that he can remove Terrorblade with Glimpse, make sure that he's not going to be chasing that Underlord compared to Keeper of the Light, who doesn't have that much defense. Sure, you can put a point in Blinding Light, but you also want to be having something different. So it's going to be swapping between position 4 and 5, and I want to see how that one's going to be working out.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see, of course, with the Impalement arts as well as the Reflection. That does a decent amount of damage, and you can see it right here. Miposhka, he gets low, he's dead. Mickey getting first blood from the side of Liquid, so Disruptor or Coddle, at least for the moment, doesn't seem to matter.
That's the downside of Underlord. This hero, a lot of the times, it does feel like he's good for the game, but he does struggle. Even though Collapse did play it, and I really like the itemization that he was going for, and also to point out, Underlords nowadays are going for different facets, so going for Demon's Reach compared to going for the summons, going for the Necro Books. So you will have AoE, you will have that extra bit of a cleave, which is going to come in handy against Brewmaster, against TB and his illusions, even Beastmaster and his summons.
You have ways to deal with their illusions, and you know, if you had Ringmaster, maybe you would have the access to Spotlight, of course, but not in a situation like this. Mid lane, it's Beastmaster against Ember.
Not a fun one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dealing with those extra units.
Yeah. I was gonna say, why isn't it fun though? Is it just the extra units?
It is quite a lot. You have 2 boars, extra 50 damage. You also have more damage than him, so kind of gets difficult. Ember Spirit, one of the heroes that a lot of the times, especially because he's first phase, so you can choose the matchups. A lot of the times there are a lot of options available for you to counter the hero. But this is the hero that can recover, I would say. And I think this time around as well, Spirit will be playing a lot on stacks. You have Keeper of the Light, you have Underlord as well, even Ember Spirit. These are the heroes that love to abuse the stacks. But you can see that Collapse, he is struggling, as expected.
Yeah, not too much of a surprise. And at level 2 in the Reflection already doing work here in the bottom lane. But top, haven't talked too much about it. The Abaddon with the Coddle against the Dark Willow Brewmaster.
Not the lanes that we see, especially Abba plus Keeper of the Light. This is something that Nightfall really likes to play. Carry Abba. Usually you need Null Talisman on Carry Abba because mana has been nerfed pretty heavily on the hero, so you need some kind of mana regen. When you're playing with Coddle, you can skip that, so you're basically saving 500 gold. One of the reasons why he's going to be going for Orb of Corrosion, extra bit of slow immediately, into phase, into Radiance Manta style.
See how quickly he gets into the Radiance Manta style. Mid lane, Nisha putting some damage here on the Laurel. Just a little bit of a back and forth. We'll see if any of the supports come over. Dark Willow, always a good candidate to come through and try and make a play over mid, especially pre-6, when you have to avoid that Bramble Maze. Nobody making the move just yet. Maybe expected around the 6-minute mark. Firestorm down into mid-game, but collapses low. Glimpse back into the pit of Malice. But Insania on here with the Reflection, and they should be able to get another kill on a Collapse. Miposhka doesn't have a lot of health, but he won't die. However, getting that second kill for Mickey and this one on Collapse feels really good for Liquid.
It really does. Something so satisfying about killing the Underlord. For me, throughout the history of Dota, Pitlord back then, Shadow Fiend and Luna, especially Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend was my first one. Like, you just go on top of him, you kill him. Underlord kind of feels the same way.
Just giving him nowhere to kind of stretch his multitude of legs.
Maybe I'm a little bit of a hater knowing that Underlord's model compared to like when he was Pitlord, I think this model kind of looks wonky. I think we should definitely do something with Morphling, definitely do something with Underlord.
So you're kind of hoping for like the Razor treatment, right? Get that Arcana that makes it look like the older model. Collapse again, in some trouble. Tame the Beast, but the Firestorm doing some decent damage. One shot from dead, and all of a sudden, Mickey, he's gonna die here to Miposhka, and Collapse survives.
All these tanky items, Bracer, Double Gauntlet, which is gonna turn into Soul Ring, and Magic Wand, manages them to get the kill. This is exactly what you need. Even if you trade your support to get some extra bit of levels on your Underlord, definitely worth it. But yeah, pretty big kill for Team Spirit.
Definitely a big kill to get. Oof, gosh. Both Impalement Arts and the Tame the Beast 202 build, and that is some big damage numbers from Insania early.
Keeping Nisha. Nisha is the one who did use his Beast to put it in the bottom, and then a Circus Master is the one who's controlling the Beast, and Nisha is going to get a double kill. This is the move that I don't know if I've seen it in quite some time.
Collapse is just dead here. Mickey runs him down, and Insania throws an Impalement Arts over Miposhka. Yeah, they get that kill with the Primal Roar. They had the Bramble Maze from the Dark Will, like I said, looking to come over towards mid. And so far, mid and bottom looks really good. Yeah, the tempo is so fast. Into the Shadow Realm and paused for a moment.
A bit of Kale.
Yeah. I thought we
might be going to Shadow Realm.
Zawirldoed, and we were stuck in time.
Level 3 Keeper of the Light. If you get a boar on top of him, he's definitely dead. This is exactly what they need. They need the Nisha to be able to explode, to get his Aghanim Scepter timing, which also opens up the Roche for you. You have TB, so you have more than enough damage. And also it does relieve some of the pressure. It's not like they're pressuring Brewmaster with Coddle as position 5. You can always run away. There's not enough damage to kill you. So all 3 lanes going pretty well for Team Liquid.
They're TPing over the Underlord for this. But Collapse commits to the TP, and there's really not much.
Nah, he's not coming to help. He was there to be able to get some extra farm in the mid lane. And
well, maybe he should have been there to help, because Laurel's just dead.
Everybody's trying to get some farm. 2k gold lead. This has to be almost like 3k gold lead for Team Liquid. 7 kills. Also, in terms of playmaking potential, there isn't really that much on side of Spirit. You need to have your Ember Spirit, who's going to be able to make stuff happen. But he's also level 5. Nisha is getting closer to level 8, so pretty big difference already.
He's off to the races, and so is Mickey, who had a couple of kills over bottom. He's 3-1 on this Terrorblade. I mean, that just makes it so much more of an open game overall for Saberlight as well, who wants this Radiance. And life just gets so much easier for Liquid when we've got this abusive pressure. See how quickly they can get into the Ags.
I like what Saberlight is doing. You know that he's 1 CS from level 6, trying to play a bit more aggressive, maybe even use that Primal Split.
Uses it knowing there's no borrowed time for the moment on Radon. But can he get the kill? Miposhka's here, they'll throw the rock, they'll get the stun, the Bramble Maze connects. And Abaddon in some trouble with the Shadow Realm strike from Boxy. It's been damage, and the Void Panda pulls him back out of the hands of his former self combined. And they get the kill on Radon.
That was such a good play from Saberlight. He was definitely also thinking...
Collapse again.
Oof, another dead.
He's dead once more. 9-1 in favor of Liquid.
And Rue is in trouble.
He showed up, he wanted to help out, and Abaddon ended up dying anyway, so now you're back into the Shadow Realm, you'll throw big damage onto Rue, and this kinetic field is not going to do anything. Miposhka shows up, they'll have another TP, Radon's back into the fight. You don't have Primal Split, but do you have the damage? Saberlight doesn't want to go under the tower, so he'll go north. But can he avoid... He's dying in this situation. Kinetic fields again. Saberlight locked up for a moment, but the Bramble Maze gives him a moment to kind of collect himself, and he does, like you said, have that Lotus. Radon's also not level 6 again, so maybe if there's a +1, they can get a big turnaround, but instead the +1's coming for Spirit, where they've used this ulti from the Underlord, and they should eventually get Saberlight, but this is amounts of space almost unheard of. And I say he got Saberlight, but now he's so quick that he just runs away. I thought he was dead. TP attempt.
He's hexed.
Oh my God.
Saberlight, he's out of there. I really like the fact that Brewmasters from the offlane, they don't buy Boots of Speed. And because of his items, he definitely survives. He buys so much time. You saw that Nisha, he's farming in the triangle. He has 2 components for his Aghanim Scepter, breaking the ankles. All right, all the Saberlight haters, where you at right now?
A track star. I mean, he ran a country mile to escape that. They even go as far as to using the Fiend's Gate to try and cut him off, and he just turns around. That is
Drunken Master,
so much space.
Using Drunken Brawler, getting brewed up as well. Everything was perfect from Brewmaster there.
Man, really making loads of space. Kinds of space you'd see only in the trunk of a truck.
He was fighting
and
for so long.
He's got Primal Split again. And he got level 6 on Radon, but do you survive? He got some help this time. They think about the Terrorize. They've also got Rue here. They'll glimpse back at least the Dark Willow. Boxy's dead. This time, not as good, but there was a lot more rotations from Spirit. Close to this Axe for Nisha already. He's putting pressure on the tier 1 tower. This is a 4,000 net worth lead, and look at this. Just the ending, hitting him with the bing bong.
And he missed him. He missed him there as well. I don't think it would be enough. Like, wow, who is this guy? This guy's pretty good. I thought he wanted to clap for himself.
Yeah. But that's a little hand rub. It's the excitement coming out of the fingertips. Space and time. Some may understand it. And all that space and time, you look at the net worth difference between the Terrorblade, the Beastmaster, and everybody else. It's a huge lead.
They know he doesn't have ulti. Immediately playing aggressive on him.
18 seconds till he's got it.
Meke's here.
Paleman Arts, Reflection used, Radon in trouble, the Roar committed, and that's another kill for the side of Liquid. It's 11-2. And climbing towards a 5,000 net worth lead. Man, looking so far perfect. I mean, a lot done here by Liquid. I mean, Spirit coming in were huge favorites for so many people, but Liquid say don't disrespect us with those numbers.
They're playing it so crisp, moving across the map so quickly. They managed to kill Laurel 2 times in a row. He needs to be the one, like, playing with the supports, playing with that chakra magic to be able to do stuff. Maybe there's going to be like a recall, twin gate rotation. So they wanted to try to outnumber Team Liquid, but Team Liquid is also very good at reading the map movement, knowing that Miposhka was there, so Boxy's going to continue to stack up one more time for his Beastmaster. Nisha.
Here comes the money when you're able to get that. And once you got that Ags on Nisha, you're probably getting a lot more gold out of it. Miposhka still level 5. He would love Static Storm. 400, 300 gold away from this Ags. And then just look at all this gold to come.
Yeah, that's even before clearing those stacks.
Yeah, and
Box
probably,
like,
what, clear the big camp, get the Ags, clear the Ancient stack?
Yeah, they could also go for Roche relatively early on. Once they pick up that Aghanim Scepter, this is also going to be a good amount of XP for Boxy. And look what Boxy's doing. He is disassembling his Tranquil Boots, so still has that available. It's a lot of work, but he is a professional e-athlete that gets paid money to play the video game, so is investing a couple of extra clicks per minute.
So Ags is on the courier. Nisha, he's ready to become the little drummer boy. Drums of Salam just feels so good. I mean, this hero has felt like one of the strongest throughout the tournament. Especially given a faster than average Hags by about 2 minutes, you know you're rolling. And the thing about that is, like, usually it's just Beastmaster, right? Yeah. Having a good game like this. Terrorblade's right there.
Timing, this is also right before 15 minutes, so they can take Roshan on Radiant's side. And you could see Team Spirit also using Scan in the middle of Roche mid. Boxy initiated on.
And the Static Storm with the kinetic field, but they've got the escape act, and now you've used that first ult from the Disruptor for no kills.
So he assembled his Tranquil Boots again. We'll have that ready. We'll go back to half HP immediately. And now without Static Storm, Liquid, they want to play aggressive.
Can finally get this tower. And Nisha, who already got himself the Ags, is already up at 1,300 more gold. He is just farming out of control. So is Mickey. I mean, he had a perfect start. He was 3-1 in lane, now he's 4-1-1. Doing quite a bit. Fiend's Gate was used to collect both shrines for Collapse. I mean, that's one of the ways to get back into it, to slow the XP lead here for the side of Liquid. Or, yeah, for Liquid.
However, their high ground defense is very good. Keeper of the Light, Underlord. It's all about stalling the game as much as they can. They managed to cement this for 5k gold lead in the last 5, maybe even 6-7 minutes. So Spirit didn't lose too much. They've been heavy on the stacking duty in the triangle. Keeper of the Light keeping to Collapse just to give him extra bit of mana so he can start to scale as well. And he is still more farmed than Brewmaster, who didn't die a single time, and Collapse did die 3 times.
To be fair, Saberlight did spend about 2 minutes running away. And just forcing rotations. You don't really get to farm when you're in that situation. Probably the most significant difference between the two. Yeah, Collapse with the Firestorm getting a lot under his belt. Now they're starting to extend that lead a little bit. They've got this Manta style. They're looking for the Shard on Terrorblade. They did just get themselves a Tormentor, so Shard for Insania.
Nisha, he's so farmed. 16 minutes. Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter treads, and you can see
4
the
minutes
timings.
faster. Not a record. I mean, I guess you're going Blink first on some builds. Oxy again, hit with Searing Chains, but nothing really doing.
Finally, he's not going to be able to disassemble them anymore. Now bringing in the numbers, Saberlight is very close to his Radiance. Would definitely love to have this one for the fight.
Insania gonna deny that amplify damage. Mickey's got the Demon Zeal, he's got the Manta style, he should be ready to fight. Nisha's got Blink Primal Roar ready to rumble with. They've got a smoke on Boxy, so they should be looking to smoke, and that is going to be happening at the same time as 3 heroes on the side of Spirit. They've also smoked up. They do have Fiend's Gate to join the fight on, and maybe they go up towards Abaddon, who would maybe join them. But while the smoke breaks, Boxy goes up onto the high ground side of Fist Searing Chains. Nisha blinks forward, but can't find the Roar. Fiend's Gate even thought about Spotlight down, Primal Roar, Static Storm. It's going to be on Anisha. He's in some trouble, but the Wheel of Wonder is there for a little bit of a defense. The Terrorize thrown out as well. But this is Nisha trying to run with the escape act. He can't get far enough away. They go to the Sunder. Can they get the kill to Collapse? The Curse Crown won't even be needed to pop, but they've used this Primal Split. They're going to chase some of these targets. The Void Panda pulls him back, but the Slight is there. They hit the Fear with the Tame the Beast and get the kill in a Laurel. Double kill for Mickey, but they do lose Nisha for that exchange.
It was overall a good fight for Spirit, showing that they can still fight back. With this Mage Slayer and Pipe combination, the amount of damage that you do reduce is pretty nuts. And there's a lot of magic damage coming up from the Beastmaster, coming up from the Radiance as well. But Terrorblade, he gets the Sunder. He's the killer of these tanky boys. We saw it so many times throughout the tournament. The Bristleback, he gets close, he gets Sundered, immediately dies afterwards. So something to be careful about. But he's also building into all of the auras, it seems. Underlord going for Crimson Guard next.
Poshka gonna take over this Watcher. Saberlight immediately shuts its eyes.
Yatra was also, his Radiance timing is also a bit delayed, so would definitely love to have that in the previous fight. Good against Terrorblade, of course, even though you can use it against you, but still, you do have Radiance on Brewmaster, which doesn't stack. Saberlight. He's a tanky boy.
Yeah, very tanky. Currently in the Earth Brawler. Hold back with the Glimpse. The Pit of Malice is there. The Firestorm, how tanky is he? They'll TP out on Boxy. They know they're going to lose Saberlight, but it is 5 heroes and a lot of time to kill one.
This is something that Spirit needs to use. Go for these recall plays, Fiend's Gate, to try to get something done on the map. And I think overall Spirit is in a relatively good spot, even though they're 6k, 7k gold down. As soon as they get the hands on the next item, fights are going to be so much easier. You can see Laurel going for his BKB, Keeper of the Light. 1,700 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. 40% win probability. I would give it even slightly more. I would give it like 45-55 for Liquid. Even though there's a massive gold lead right now, they still weren't able to really capitalize on that. They managed to kill all the tier 1 towers. They killed Tormentor. Roshan still up to be grabbed.
If they do get that Roche, though, probably an Aegis on the Beastmaster. We usually see that first Aegis for them. See if that's the case. We were shown some of the items across the board, and Rue is only 1,400 gold away from having his axe on this Keeper of the Light. This time around, they find Boxy. Look for the Terrorize that lands on Aurora. The Bramble Maze, the Bedlam, not doing a lot of damage, but the Primal Split's going to be committed. Remnant, Saberlight sticking
again.
Myth has the stun. Void Panda pulls RL back, but don't really have enough to get this, and Collapse waiting for a moment that maybe they come back and make a Pit of Malice and start to Firestorm. So a little bit of a delay. It's still opening up space and time for Nisha and Mickey to continue to farm. But is that going to be enough?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yatoro's starting to make his way back with the Radiance going into the Manta style. Needs a lot of gold for that, but they do have Glimpse ready to go. Escape Act, and out of the box you come right in front of the side of Team Spirit. So another kill there for Yatoro, getting the kill onto Insane.
They have a good amount of
Mickey's
sustain.
farming.
Yeah, Mickey is farming. Mickey is sitting at 13,000 gold, 3k gold ahead of Yatoro, but still Yatoro is recovering nicely. Level 14 on his ABAP, even though he died 3 times. Still relatively keeping up.
Never got that roar off. Trying to jump in with the blink roar, but now TPing towards top. I mean, that was definitely not the plan with Metamorphosis getting committed there. Not as much of a matter as they could just farm with it, but you'd see slowly but surely Spirit, they are starting to take more of the map. They're starting to farm up quite a bit and cut into this net worth lead with a pick off here or there and some farm around the map.
Recalls himself to Collapse, so everybody is farming. They're stealing some of the Ancient stack.
Or drums a Slam, and
Just solo kill.
that is a solo kill for Nisha. Takes the back end of that stack, and then we'll take this big camp stack as well. And he is closing in on that BKB. Aposhka going into a hand of Midas, knowing that this game is going to go, or thinking that this game's going to go pretty long.
He knows. The high ground defense is pretty damn insane. You're trying to go through. You're going to get Kinetic Field, Pit of Malice. Very difficult. Slight Chakra Magic, Firestorm. Probably one of the better high ground defenses we've seen in some time. Tidebound did have pretty similar lineup, but we didn't really see them defending the high ground. It was more like we're going to lose the fight, and then the game is pretty much over. And this is what I want to see from Liquid. I want to see this Roshan. I think they maybe had a chance to take it slightly earlier, considering the timing on that Aghanim Scepter on Beastmaster, but Beastmaster now has BKB available.
Should feel relatively safe, and Liquid gonna move forward. Cinder Brew, Bramble Maze, and Impalement Arts onto Maposhka. There's a second dagger flying his way. Getting quite low, but ends up hewing up a little bit, though. Remnant away and back in and back away from Laurel. They do find in this corner, though. They find Maposhka.
Blinding Light.
Primal Roar is going to be used on Laurel. The Blinding Light keeps Maposhka alive for a little bit longer, but he ends up dying. The Terrorized Throne, they've got the Fear. It's on Laurel. The chase is on. The damage is there. They'll take it a second. But do they have enough to turn this around? Yatoro trying to think if he can stand forward, but the blink in from Saberlighter. This is Brewmaster starting to do quite a bit to Collapse. Yatoro, he wants to come, he wants to help, but he actually walks forward now with a Mephonic Shield and the Borrowed Time.
Is ready.
He'll at least try to commit to this, but they have the Sunder. Rue, he recalled right next to this Abaddon, and that's a big problem. They'll get the kill to this Abaddon and look for Rue, who's going to be hit with the Cursed Crown.
Another Will-O-Wisp, but it's not enough. They don't have enough damage. I want to see damage dealt by Mickey in the previous fight. Him and Saberlight, damage numbers have to be pretty high. And Rue will finish off Saberlight. Yeah, that's 5,000 damage from Brewmaster. They invested pretty heavily onto Disruptor. Miposhka cornered himself, and with his innate ability, he's pushing them away. They were unable to kill him instantly. Still, that Radiance Burn is dealing quite a lot of damage on multiple heroes. And it does feel like if Mickey's having a free cast in terms of like attacking people, using multiple reflections, it's going to be way too much damage. And in terms of control, if there's no static storm, he's going to be fine.
Recalling Laurel over. Escape acting and Will-O-Wisp for the sleep. And Senia can't quite get away, and Laurel's going to have an easy kill there. I've seen this a couple times where these Coddles, they jump in with the recall next to their allies, and it's a tough position to be in. Roche still alive after that big fight. They didn't back up, go for Roche. They didn't have Saberlight still up. They were kind of low coming out of it, but they didn't commit for that Aegis. So that objective's still there, and the net worth lead only expanding by about 2K. However, it's a lot of golds on Mickey as well as Nisha.
Every single time nothing's happening, Team Spirit, they're gaining a little bit of gold compared to Team Liquid. Because Liquid, they're moving together, while on the other side, Spirit, they're not trying to get as much farm as possible. And look at this almost like perfect square. 90-degree angles. What was that? That was yellow. So Boxy, I assume.
I don't know how people draw so well on the map. My hand is too shaky for that. They are gonna meet, it looks like. 4-man smoke. Nisha nearby, he's got a boar. Yatoro moving forward, and he's reflected on immediately. They go to the Primal
Ravage,
Split.
of course.
Croaker with the Ravage. Primal Roar comes through. They're trying to get the kill here onto the Disruptor. They've got the kill in a room. They're taking the Coddle. Down goes Baposhka, but the damage from Nisha is going to be enough with BKB. Borrowed time is popped from Yatoro. Collapses in and collapses dead. He takes so much damage here. They're slamming. They're right-clicking away with the Metamorphosis as well. And all this Abaddon can do is run. Saberlight's right there. Put the spotlight on him because they want to get this kill. But with no stun, no lockdown, he just TPs away.
Spirit definitely needs their supports, especially Coddle to be alive. We saw double Will-O-Wisp at the previous fight. They need Chakra Magic to be used on Laurel multiple times. Even if we talk about Chakra Magic on Underlord, could come in pretty handy. These are relatively long, short cooldown abilities. 13 second on Firestorm, 15 on Pit of Malice, but also this Bloodthorn is causing quite a lot of issues dealing with the supports if one of them gets initiated on. There really isn't a save whatsoever, because you have Hand of Midas and you also have Aghanim Scepter. So no Force Staff, Glimmer, Crimson is available on Underlord, but that doesn't seem to be enough.
Went for the supports, and they ripped through Collapse. I mean, this Bloodthorn feels so strong. Liquid have a 12,000 net worth lead. They've got an Aegis under their belt. They still give it to Nisha, despite the fact that maybe they wanted it on Terrorblade, but Laurel, all of a sudden, he needs to remnant further away. Nisha's pressuring the tier 2 tower now. What do you do against this Aegis on Nisha? This is tough. It's that Manta style. They're looking to at least get an objective out of the map. Look at the Tormentor. So Spirit finding something. It'll be Shard for Laurel. Maposhka is hoping this game goes along with that Midas, but with the pressure and the pace that Liquid have put on, they might just have one and a half fights left.
It's a lot of damage between Nisha and Mickey, and they're ready to take the fight again.
Saberlight's using those boots of travel to come into the fight. They use that Terrorize, they get the kill in a Rue. They do not have a Coddle for 40 seconds. There's no recall, there's no Will-O-Wisp, no Chakra Magic. Big parts of this fight for the side of Spirit.
Ooh, not the
Gone
best
for
glyph.
30 seconds.
That didn't block too much of a damage. Laurel is sitting on 3,000 gold. Can finish off his SNY. That status resistance could come in handy. Team Liquid, after dealing some of the damage to tier 3 tower in the top lane, they're gonna finish off the second tier 2 tower. There's also amplified damage on Nisha. This could be pretty massive. They don't have to rush anything. They're still holding that Aegis for another 3 minutes. So they're gonna have another meta available. They're also taking the outpost, so they have something to TP to.
Usually without the amplified damage, you're drumming at a 4-4 speed. But with the amplified damage, if I knew music a little bit better, I believe it's 1/8 speed. Quarter notes instead of half notes. All right, guys? That's all I remember.
Yeah, I'm not really good at it. I know how to listen to music, but that's about it.
Put the headphones in and press play. Lotus Sword being built for Collapse. They are trying to find anything. They find something. They've got the Static Storm, but do they have the damage to get the kill before it's over? They do. A good job there by Spirit to at least get something out of the map, while they feel as though they are on the back heels of this game. They find the Roar, they look over at Rue, and they will get another kill onto the Keeper of the Light. Nisha now unstoppable, but Pique is low. Sunders, they'll survive for a little bit longer, but nobody is here from the side of Liquid. They will get this kill onto the Terrorblade, and they got the Brewmaster as well, and all of a sudden, Spirit with 2 big kills, they put some life support into this game.
Ooh, they stretch them real nicely. They did go for the bottom kill. Everybody kind of except Mickey did go to the bottom to try to help out. Sure, you got a kill in Rue, but this was a pretty massive kill, and also delaying the high ground push that could potentially come out from Team Liquid. And it's 40 seconds left on that Aegis.
Bottom tier 2 pressured a little bit, but no Terrorblade, no Brewmaster. Won't have a lot of time with the Aegis, so you gotta farm up to find maybe an item or 2 that seals the deal. When you have 2 kills that kind of go that way, pressure's on where it feels like it might slip completely away. And now they go to the Primal Roar, they find themselves Nisha. He's got an Aegis, so that's just the first life, but can they help him out?
Look at Collapse immediately.
Again, nobody
out,
is
making
here.
sure that nobody can get through. And Nisha, with the BKB, is going to be able to TP out. Maybe they needed that extra bit of a damage from under.
Croaker?
He showed himself. Ooh.
That was almost the Croaker Tendrils grief right there. They Fiend's Gate, they knew maybe the Croaker's on our side. But stringing again kills together that really are making Liquid a bit uneasy.
Now, you really don't feel that much of a difference in Network, the way Team Spirit is taking the fights. And there's a lot of damage over time on their heroes. You have Photic Shield, you have Flame Guard as well, Radiance Burn, level 20, so borrowed time, Immolation DPS, and also Shard picked up on Underlord, so he can use that on one of his allies. He can use that on Radahn, who's going to be running in. And Radahn also finishing Harpoon. He feels like he needs to be able to close the gap, be able to go on the heroes. There's a lot of control as well inside of Liquid, so wants to have some kind of a gap closing item. Usually we see Blink Dagger, but he also feels in this game that he needs a little bit more damage. So compared to the Blink Dagger, it gives you that double hit.
That Blink Dagger, one of the last items for Abaddon, right?
Seems like he doesn't want to even get it. He's running out of slots. He has 2 more slots available, and that's going to be Abyssal Blade and Orchid/Bloodthorn.
Right.
Spirit, they're in a pretty good spot. Their heroes are getting tankier and tankier. You don't have that break plus silence mechanic that can kill Abaddon. You have Underlord, who is super tanky, now with Lotus Orb, relatively elusive, with Ember Spirit, who also finished off BKB, has a Shield Rune in bottle. They're making the same play again in the bottom lane. Saberlight.
He got greedy, went for the creep wave
this time around.
BKB on the run, Glimpse was used, and Saberlight helped by Croakers.
Immediately, you can see the teams are figuring it out, and on another side, you're also seeing Croakers getting the stuns, but immediately run in. The face of a griefer again.
Yeah, the face of a griefer. It reminds me of Star Wars Episode 1, the guy who sells the parts to Anakin. You've seen Star Wars?
Never.
Never
Actually,
seen it?
I'm big on movies, but never seen Star Wars.
I love the pod racers aspect. He's just there. He's trying to, sell some pod racer parts. Annie, why you no buy? You come, but you no buy. Annie. That's what I feel like the Croakers are saying. Something along those lines.
Maybe I need to watch it.
It's a good movie. I know a lot of people hate on Episode 1, but banger. Should play Pod Racers for the N64 as well. Switch 2 too expensive. Nintendo 64 still there for me.
That's the guy?
That's the guy! Emil, you come, you no buy. Voila. His name is Watto, I think. Laurel, what's he coming into next? He's going for the Shivas. And then, I mean, Radon, he wants this Bloodthorn, but they've got the Primal Roar. It's on Laurel. Do they have enough for it?
Yes,
You'll
Shield
wonder,
Rune.
BKB.
They're not even through the Shield Rune yet.
Gosh. Pit of Malice is down, and now the BKB still working for Laurel. He'll try to get away. Does he? He throws a Remnant back, so he'll be safe with BKB being popped by Nisha now. He'll start to walk out of the fight.
BKB also
But a
used
Fist
the
Searing
PB.
Chain's not connecting. Glimpse, though, on a mid-gay.
Spirit, they want to take this
A
fight
bit of a
right
bad
now.
way under the Static Storm, but the Impalement Arts hits on a Collapse is going to do enough for him. Primal Split and a pause from Abaddon.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Kale. There's a lot of stuff that we do have on the ground. TB with the illusion, spotlights, a lot of circles.
Spells are never squares. They're always circles.
They have very good control area. You have Kinetic Field, you have Pit of Malice. They're also fighting in the high ground. Will-O-Wisp has been used. They want to chase.
They've got the Primal Split, the Cyclone up Laurel. Collapse still moving forward. So is the rest of Team Spirit. They haven't gotten their hands on anybody on Liquid, but another Remnant forward from Laurel looking for an option with the Sleight of Fist Searing Chain. Saberlight's got some time left on this Primal Split. So the Earth Panda goes back, and they want to get out of the range of the Glimpse. They'll Void Panda pull the Earth Panda towards safety. Nisha immediately towards top.
Shield Rune really making the difference there. Shield Rune, he gets his Flame Guard. They throw Solar Crest on top of him. So all of these barriers, you're not going to be able to go through them. Roshan, he'd be alive in the bottom pit. Guaranteed to respawn within 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Only the second Roche coming up, which is a little bit of a surprise. We talked about the delay that Liquid had in that first Aegis. Shrine's up at 35 minutes. Nisha wants level 25, so he's going to take the one on the side of Liquid. The last one had gotten stolen by Collapse. He had used that Fiend's Gate, which is on cooldown, so he's unable to do that. They have a lot of control already for Team Spirit. You get to a point where Collapse gets that Ags and has that Pit of Malice on Fiend's Gate. You get that extra control. You don't use the Fiend's Gate to go all that far. You line up the Venn diagram and just have all this control point.
Even more circles that are going to come out. Boschka sitting on 2,000 gold for now, just keeping the buyback, but his next item is going to be Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't have anything queued up yet, but this is the item that can give you that kill threat on the heroes who have BKB available, but with Hand of Midas, a couple of extra minutes. They take one good fight, 2 extra Hand of Midas usages. It's going to give him that Axe.
He doesn't have it queued up, so I don't know if he's going for it. I can't commit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a bigger item that he can buy.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's why he decided to go with Midas.
BKB out of Saberlight.
Immediately.
His net worth has been dropping at a steady pace for Liquid. Roche is going to be up right now. So second Roche available, no BKB on Saberlight.
Down to half HP, can definitely be killed.
Does have Primal Split if they want to start the fight with that. They'll look for the Spotlight. Laurel and Yatoro towards the front. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains both hitting onto the illusions. The Bramble Maze is there. Locks him up for a moment, and they also throw over that Silence from the Terrorblade with the Bloodthorn onto Laurel for a moment, too. Double Lotus Orb for the side of Spirit. They've got Rue, who's got one now. Fiend's Gate, Pit of Malice, and now that'll force the Primal Split out of Saberlight. Kind of putting a position where Liquid need to fight. They're up on the high ground for Spirit with a Pit of Malice on the steps, so it's almost impossible for them to get up there cleanly.
This has been Team Spirit tactic. Hold the high ground, not allow them to get through it. Meta has been used. This is the opportunity for Team Spirit to go inside of pit. They have more than enough sustain coming out from Keeper of the Light. And their heroes are super tanky. Bloodthorn also available. So can use that, get that extra bit of a damage.
Looks like they're just conceding it. This Roche going to Team Spirit. Aegis, a banner. Not what Liquid was expecting. expecting with the advantage that they had early on.
Liquid is in a lot of trouble. This 6K gold lead at this point of the game doesn't mean anything. He's gonna get pulled in, but no basher yet.
Surviving and thriving. Nisha halfway to that level 25. Abaddon going into the Bloodthorn for the first time on this hero. Where's Mickey at? He's 23, about a fourth of the way through that level. He's looking into the data list, which he's just about to have if he wants to buy out. But you can see things pretty close overall. About a 2,000 net worth difference between the heroes. Abaddon, though, with his team and all smoked up. Underlord's going to show in lane, but he's got that Fiend's Gate ready to go. Don't have to worry about having him joining the fight. They want him farming, and he's got that Ags. So they'll have that Fiend's Gate to drop on fights immediately, force the BKBs with the Fiend's Gate Pit of Malice around it. And that's going to make these fights so much harder for Liquid.
And I also like that he's going back to the Road of Atos / Gleipnir to make the AoE of his spells bigger by 75, which really means a lot. There's a good amount of AoE damage to deal with the Brolings, to deal with TB illusions. Tier 2 tower has been killed for a very long time in the bottom lane, but this Underlord is now online. When you look at his score, it doesn't really say much how the game has been going, 1, 6, and 4, but overall, he is more farmed. Like the top 3, in terms of net worth, are so far ahead than the middle pack.
They're over the bottom side of these trees. They go to the Primal Roar with the drums. Saw him going. He's trying to drum to victory. They've got the Tame the Beast, the Fear on the 2. They get the kill on Aru. He's going to be out with no buyback. BKB still going. Pit of Malice down. Collapse in some trouble with the right-click damage coming up from Mickey. They get the kill there. They'll at least take out the Underlord. Glimpse back, though, on to Nisha. They'll take out the first life from this Abaddon, and they might be able to control him again for a second.
Borrow time, 1 second.
Yatoro. So much trouble for him, but he can borrow time. He's cycloned up into the air. The Bramble Maze is placed perfectly, and they will kill him a second time with no buyback. Liquid with a great fight to hold on to this lead.
Nisha, he blinks in. Him and Terrorblade being paired up together, getting their Ravage, getting those right clicks in, because they were also buying all of the items pretty much. So you had TB with Daedalus available, with Bloodthorn. This is the pretty much most damage items you can get. And I'm looking at Boxy's items. He is going for Aghanim Scepter. Boxy is also one of the guys that wants to be able to scale, but yeah, catching Rue off guard immediately is going to make a lot of difference because he wants that Chakra Magic multiple times. And this time around, Spirit, they're not holding the high ground, which makes a lot of difference in the fights.
Yeah, these pits are able to pinch areas, pinch the steps. You can't cleanly get into the fights, but there's a lot of space there that allows them to wrap around or go around and find entry points to win a fight like that. Saberlight, he's also level 24 here with Mickey. You've got Nisha, did hit that level 25 and goes to the minus 30-second Primal Roar cooldown. He could be slamming, he could be drumming, he could be looking like Ringo Starr. They take the tier 3 over mid. Saberlight. Use that Primal Split, we'll have it on cooldown for another 45 seconds or so. Saberlight almost baiting them, wanting them to jump him in the middle of this lane. If they can get him off the high ground, that's their opportunity, the way that they've been winning these fights.
Octarine Core.
Box is
very high level on him as well.
Doing a lot of damage here with this Ags now. Refresher for Nisha.
There's a lot of items on Team Liquid that just came out. Terrorblade also level 25, so Sunder cooldown, which brings it down to 10 seconds. This is the big one. This is the massive one. Allows you to get multiple kills, survive most of the time. But yeah, wanted to think about Boxy back in the Alliance days when he was carrying, when they were Alliance squad. He was carrying the game on Dark Willow so many times, going for this Aghanim Scepter. He also feels that the game might be longer, so opting to go for the big item. Miposhka, he's ready to go. Aghanim Scepter completed on him. Level 18. 7.5 seconds of that Static Storm.
Throws it immediately. They'll try to get the kill on Anisha. He doesn't have a Aegis, so I mean, it's that easy. They get this kill, they'll look for Insania. He's gonna try and jump away, but they stick with him. A Remnant forward, that's 2 kills. You've given up 2. You do not have buyback available on Nisha, and you're gonna lose a 3rd. Boxy falls, no buyback, and Spirit again, just kind of searching the map and finding what they need, especially with this Ags coming through from this disruptor.
This Aghanim Scepter. This is probably one of the best Aghanim Scepters upgrades in the game. It does allow you to mute the items, AoE, and also we talk about circles a lot. There's so many that they can throw on the ground. Like Pit of Malice can also be your setup for your ulti so that they can't get out of it. Saberlight has BKB. He does have Ogre Seal Totem as well.
If they could stick with him for 20 seconds and get the disruptor there, they could Static Storm him, but they force the Primal Split once again. So that'll be on cooldown for 85 seconds. The 25 Cinder Brew applies fear when ignited.
Yeah, Clinton Loomis mechanic is very strong. We had that on Queen of Pain when she was level 25. Saberlight will TP out. Abba, not close enough. He does have Basher available.
Swift Blink next for Mickey. You get the Swift Blink, you got to think about like straight Ag's Blessing, right? Have that Terra Wave and have that ability to throw fear out there, maybe giving yourself a split second to react.
Right now he wants to keep the buyback.
Right.
Once he finishes off his big item, and that's that Swift Blink that you mentioned, so he doesn't have buyback available.
The only one who does is the Ringmaster on Liquid. So precarious position for Liquid on a fight that without buyback could end the game. If they get the second glyph back where they can glyph the tier 3 and then glyph after the melee racks, I would say they'd hold on after a fight, and I don't think this fight's gonna happen without an Aegis, so they should be okay to hold that time off. Be okay. However, they need to get the next Aegis. The game has gone from that 11K lead that they just had back down to 5,000 after giving up 3. And they are starting to hit some critical mass here on Spirit. Look at all these Ogre Seal Totems on Liquid. 4 out of 5.
It is my favorite item. It allows you to go in, get out of the fight when nothing else works. Great against Nullifier as well. And we saw also Saberlight, Collapse toying with the idea what he wants to buy, whether he needs Nullifier, whether he wants to pick up bigger AoE on his spells. Seems like Nullifier is going to be idea, so there's not going to be box available. So if they are trying to focus down the target during Static Storm, he wants to make sure that there's not going to be a save.
Yeah, so no boxy.
Yeah.
We'll go continue to farm, waiting for this Aegis. How long is the timer? About a minute and a half-ish, if I had to guess off the clock. They're grouping up here for Spirit, knowing that Roche is potentially up. Can they find anybody? As Liquid, they set up for Roche, but just don't really know when the timing is, and kind of need to protect this area for the entirety of the time. Shield Rune in the bottle for Nisha. That's going to be quite a bit of extra effective HP for him in a fight. Ninja Gear used by Maposhka. Trying to place some vision, maybe catch somebody on Liquid out the way they have time and time again. They actually take the vision away from the side of Liquid, and Laurel. Sleight of Fist spots Saberlight. He's closing in on 25 too.
They don't have that like insta lockdown other than Basher, or they need to land Static Storm like they did in the previous fight to be able to kill the hero, lock him down with Nullifier. Team Spirit, they want to play slightly longer fights. They know that if these roars, if Primal Split is used meta as well, maybe if they can disengage and then take the fight, because their heroes are difficult to kill, at least cores. Supports, they don't have many defense items. There's Poshka, who has Solar Crest, there's Lotus Orb on Keeper of the Light, but if he's the one getting jumped, he's definitely gonna die.
We've seen that be the target for Nisha a lot. Go for Rue. Take out this Coddle. There's just so much circular control. Will-O-Wisp, the Pit of Malice is not only with the ability, but with the Ags now. Kinetic Field, Static Storm that you said is 7+ seconds with the Ags upgrade to it. It's so difficult to fight. You only have BKB for so long here for Liquid. The fights have to be fast. You have to take these supports out early. That's what they're going to do. They'll go here for the Disruptor. They'll get the kill on Miposhka. They see themselves in Toro, but there's the Abyssal Blade. They've got the lockdown on Anisha for a moment. There's the Nullifier used on him with the BKB, but he's trying to run away. They try and find themselves Rue. The damage coming out from mid-game. Both supports are going to be dead on the side of Spirit. They both have buyback. Miposhka already used his. He's got Static Storm at the ready, but with those 2 kills, are Liquid looking for more, or will they back up towards Roche immediately?
Liquid realizing what the problem is. Take out these 2 supports. Next fight, they're going to be able to kill Miposhka, maybe get that jump. If he doesn't get the Static Storm off, that's a lot of control that they do have, a lot of damage that they want to pump in, especially because he also has that level 20 talent. So Kinetic Field, lower cooldown. They're in. Mickey is going to pick it up.
Aegis picked up by Mickey. Buyback used here by the Kato. They're going to find their hands around Saberlight. He pops that BKB early and uses that Ogre Seal Totem to get away. He doesn't have the Primal Split. The Nullifier thrown on him by Collapse. Ogre Seal Totem to catch up to Saberlight, but he's just too quick. They had that glimpse, but they just don't find anybody to pull back. Ura calling and bring in Collapse as they look potentially for Mickey, who is not going immediately back to base. And there it is. There's the TP back all the way home. He's now looking for that Hag's Blessing. He's probably going to need the whole Blessing to really be able to purchase his items. He's no slots left, really. And he's got BKB with an Aegis that he'd have to swap in. They'll find themselves Laurel. He remnants away, but Mickey's on Miposhka, who doesn't have buyback. He needs to be careful, but the silence is on the Mickey. He's in trouble. He'll end up dead. The first one's going to be out of his hands. Ogre Seal Totem collapse up onto the high ground. There's the Pit of Malice. Saberlight, though, up here with Nisha. They've got the fear. They'll get the kill. They'll take a collapse, and they don't have Rue. That's 2 heroes without buyback.
Ooh, collapse with no buyback. That's a big one. Team Liquid, they should try to go and check what's going to happen on the high ground. Miposhka managing to survive. That's pretty big. Static Storm is going to be available in 15 seconds, but Team Liquid, knowing that there is no buyback available on Keeper of the Light, they're going to poke and see what's going to happen. Underlord doesn't has his, but it's only one time when we're smarter than the players, than these e-gamers that are playing the video game, where we can actually see the buyback status and Roche respawn timer. Okay, gotta go for the high ground.
Gets the tier 3. There's still that bottom tier 3, tier 2, and the Seterax there.
Heard a BKB.
BKB from...
40 seconds. Both heroes on Spirit. This is 3 versus 5. Liquid realizing that they don't have to go through the bottom lane. 30 seconds.
They're going tier 4s.
Left is ready for Spirit.
They gotta make a move here on Spirit. They just don't have the Underlord. Eventually, they're gonna have to go. But they'll use this Terrorblade to try and go in. They've got Static Storm on him. The Remnant away. Do they have Laurel enough time to get out? He Sleight of Fist once more. But getting control. Toro, he's in. The fear, though, it connects on Laurel. They've got the Wheel of Wonder. They get the kill on Laurel. He doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 99. There's the Sunder on Radon. They get the kill there, too. The Glyph. But it's not looking like it's enough time. Just Miposhka is alive. The damage will overwhelm the throne, and game 1 will go to Team Liquid.
Team Liquid, very
surrounded by a ball of aggression of great laning from Liquid once again. I'm afraid for Spirit a little bit that this could just be a 2-0, even though I wanted 3 games. The caliber
the thing
of these
is, if Laurel does win mid, shuts down Nisha, you get an Orchid on the TB or something, it could be reverse snowball as well. But I think it's much more difficult to pull off Team Spirit's draft, that's all.
I fully agree. I mean, there's not much to say. Can Spirit survive the lanes this time around? Can they find the items to deal with what Liquid has? Like, their lanes were so bad in game 1 that if they copy-paste the laning phase, and we see it this time, the game could even be worse for them. That's why their coach, Silent, he's going to have to give a really good chat to make sure that they have better lanes.
All right, well, we're going over to Nomad, who's backstage right now.
Indeed we are, yeah. So, Silent, game number 1, a little bit tough. I think the early game didn't go too well. Have you adjusted for that in game 2?
Yes, first game was really rough lane stage. If we could do better, game would be much better for us, but we didn't. At least we couldn't do better at lane stage. I think very weak lanes was second game stronger lanes but a lack of early game also. I feeling like we need some farm with here also too.
Yeah, do you think Liquid's going to give you that? Do you think you're going to be able to get there?
I don't know. I hope so.
Oh, that's a little concerning. Well, what about the Storm Spirit here then? What answers do you have for the Storm in this game? Because the analysts are a little worried.
Storm good hero. I think we will pick it a little bit later, but we pick it early and we could get better heroes, I think. Not sure we did the right choice.
Okay. Well, I've just been informed Maposhka just got first blood. Anything to say about that?
Miposha got it or the...
Yeah.
Oh, what nice one.
Nice, excellent. All right, let's go watch the game. We'll throw it to the casters for game number 2.
Thank you very much.
Immediately a smile. It's like, you really got it? You sure?
You can confirm this? Yes, I can. Oh, nice. Reacting about the same way I react to when teams I'm rooting for get first blood. That was a fun interview.
And look at this. They needed stronger lanes. This is how you're going to make stronger lanes. Both of the supports are smoked up, but the lane is not in a good position. So immediately, they're going to run to the top lane. Smoke is going to run out. Maybe they can grab a kill here on Insania, knowing that there's no stun. He also showed that he has Glaives of Wisdom. Mickey starting, of course, with free throw. So immediately, they're going to try to break the lanes.
Should be able to get another couple kills here.
Mickey here.
Mickey's in trouble, and Mickey is dead to rights. It's just giving it up to Collapse to get this kill. I don't even care about Insania in that position. Just getting the second kill.
Yeah, these are the type of moves that you want to see. Seeing that Leicester is left alone in the bottom lane. He's still CSing nicely. He got 2 of the CS, got extra bit of XP, but very nice move from Team Spirit.
Yeah, I could just imagine Nomad still standing next to Silent. He's like, and they just got a second kill. Collapse got the second kill. Nice. That's what I need, actually. Just a cam of Nomad giving all the information to Silent. Bottom lane. We're done here with Maposhka up against Saberlight, who gave up that first blood. He had a great game number 1 with this Brewmaster.
He did. Also to point out, Spirit, even Silent was talking about how their lanes are not going to be strong, so they're trying something different. And also, all of their heroes, they have very good scaling. This is the type of a lineup that can definitely outscale what Liquid have. I think Liquid will need to try to speed things up at least. Panel also talked about Tanisha having a good game on Storm Spirit. Relatively limited amount of lockdown. Your 3 cores, you have 1 stun coming out from Monkey King. Maybe someone's going to be able to buy into Orchid. Maybe Terrorblade in this one. It should be a very good pipe into Orchid type of a game for Collapse, where you're going to be tanking up, making everybody else tanky, but also something to point out is the amount of saves that Team Spirit does have. Sure, there is Global Silence on the other side, but every single hero, except for Monkey King, has some kind of a save. But we're talking about Infest, Sunder, Snowball, or Escaped Act. There's so many things. So, and also, I would say that Team Spirit is a team that loves... They're one of the most clutch teams. We saw in the previous game as well in some of these mid-game fights how well they're playing.
Yeah, you know, when you have that many saves, you only have so many options for Liquid. You got to burst these heroes down.
Yeah.
What they did in game number 1 was really, focus the supports. I think that was really well done in their fights, that Rue and Maposhka were those guys who are being annoying in the fights. But at this point, like, there are so many choices for a save, you got to figure out who to go for pretty early on.
As we said, there's some counters. Global Silence. There is Ground Dispel from Brewmaster that's going to be dealing with TB illusions. That's going to be dealing with Escaped Act as well. So I want to see how much they're going to be able to do. Tiny is also a little on the slower side. This is not the hero that's going to rotate through the Twin Gates. A lot of the times you see Tiny 15 minutes in, sitting at 0-0-0. Mickey already did die once, so it's going to be a bit different, but not an active hero by any means.
Don't expect him to get active, but maybe we see Boxy get active, rotate over if Saberlight can hold the lane alone. A couple of shackles, maybe a kill shot here or there would be quite nice to obtain, especially if you could also stack in the meantime. They're coming over mid for the 4-minute water runes. And Boxy getting hit by those impalement arts is actually taking quite a bit of damage. Needs to be careful because Maposhka He's ready to throw another one in just 6 seconds.
Poshka has boots of speed and whoopee cushion, so could maybe try to chase him down. 2 points and Tame the Beast is also quite a lot of damage. Saberlight going for a different item build this time around. He wants to get Vanguard, knowing that all the damage is physical, coming out from all 3 cores, and even Tusk. Ooh, this is pretty big.
Yeah, dead again here, and Saberlight, like you said, he wants that. And maybe he feels way better once you get that Vanguard, but
still,
he needs
to farm
Boxy
another
here.
500 gold. I think itemization for him this time around, because he had double bracer, he had magic one, he had boots of speed in the previous game, managed to break some ankles. But this time, I think Vanguard into Radiance and then go back to Crimson Guard, because again, there is a lot of physical damage coming out. Collapse is going to drop in the top lane. And
Poshka dying to a kill shot.
Liquid finally using their heroes.
Okay, ends up falling with a rotation from Laro at level 5, and they're also going to get Insania here. Double kill for Laro, doing quite a bit of damage and coming through from mid, something that Storm really isn't able to do until level 6, if he wants to move at level 6. But when you've got Tree Dance and you can kind of make the moves over towards top, and if you can buy a lot of time, you can
still
get
got to
there.
stick around. It's,
Yeah.
They have so
Balance
much
Strike
slow.
ready.
You get a Reflection, there is also Tag Team, plus he also has Orb of Frost, and now Mickey.
He's in trouble again.
If they can get him again, his game is going to be so bad. He needs some kind of a help.
He's getting help with the TP coming over, but is it going to be quick enough? Balance Strike is there. They stop the TP, though. Go for Insania instead, and that's another 2 kills for Spirit.
Oh, Nisha tried a TP, but also a very nice play from Poshka. He gets to Tame the Beast in the mid lane, stops the TP. If those Storm Spirit was not level 6, maybe he could have gotten it from the wave, maybe get an extra kill out of it, but just didn't happen. And it seems like Team Spirit, they managed to break Liquid's laning phase.
This is something we saw Liquid do game number 1. They were very strong at just beating down Spirit. They had an early lead as they now are back 1,000 net worth, but maybe they can kind of maintain. Nisha's got some decent CS. Last game, Nisha had a roaring start.
Get it. Still not invested heavily. Definitely needs some of the runes as well. We saw Storm Spirit that he has quite a lot of mana when he starts digging with, for example, Trusty Shovel and Boxy. He seems in trouble again. Rue's also making a move. Insania doesn't get blocked off.
Ping out that obs immediately. Sentry will see it.
Eventually.
Yeah, they just need to get there. But Nisha, top of the CS, he's okay, but we'll see if he wants to move. 7 minutes, Saberlight picks up that Shrine. He's also got this Vanguard, but they want to go bottom. They want to continue to shut down these side lanes.
Still level 5 on Brewmaster.
No split. Snowball, Tame the Beast, Wukong's and the Shard. Saberlight nowhere to go. Power shot flies through. They've even got Yatoro here to help out for this kill, and it's already a 3,000 net worth lead for Spirit.
Mickey doesn't have a game. He died 3 times in 7 minutes. His net worth is still okay-ish considering what happened. He doesn't have a tower as well, so there's going to be another entrance to his jungle.
Snowball, Boxy gets it, and Pelmenards are also there. Shackle not going to connect to anything in the back. But Spirit not afraid to just play pretty far forward.
Nice dodge.
Poshka, easy dodge, never a question. They just can't get any kills. They can't get it started. I will say, you know, Spirit were able to bring it back. What's the game plan here for Liquid if they lose this early game? Because they were talking about how Spirit, on the panel at least, we're talking about how mid-game, late game feels very Spirit favored. But if you lose the early game this hard,
it needs to be Nisha.
Yeah.
It needs to be him paired up with Boxy, going for the kills, pull into Power Shot, which is only level 2 right now. And we can see also on the other side of the map, Rue is going to be picking up that XP rune. Push him closer to level 6. Brewmaster is also level 6, so they're trying to make something happen.
Lightning. Laro would be a really big target to catch. Shackle doesn't connect, but they go to the primal split. They get the kill on Laro. Don't commit the TP. That was ambitious to show. But they get the tower with it, and that's a big move from Liquid to open up the map a little bit more, alleviate that pressure.
I feel like at this point of the game, Nisha needs to be involved in every single kill if they want to get it. Because two supports didn't really do that much together. Maybe they can be paired up with the Brewmaster, but also I feel Nisha needs to be there. Saberlight gets the deny. Some good amount of gold taken out from Rodan.
He doesn't have a
TP.
TP.
Game. He TP'd to the mid lane, has Infest ready, so he's going to be fine.
Yeah. If they had maybe Storm come over for that extra layer of control, they could have gotten that kill, but he's just able to rage and go away. Sunder was used on the Tiny. Nothing really doing with both supports sitting mid anyway. Static Remnant on the high ground. Throwing another one in the steps. Wukong's committed here. All to get the rune wrong.
Not the easiest kill to get there, even if they land the spells. Maybe if they, like, get to tame the beast. Tusk is still level 5. Snowball level 1 is not that long of a stun, 0.6 seconds. I think it shouldn't be enough to be able to get that kill. And we also talked about itemization. Panel did mention maybe there's going to be some earlier Orchid coming out from Terrorblade. Seems like it's going to be early Orchid from both of the mid laners. We see that Laurel wants to pick it up, and it seems like Nisha, he's changing his mind. He's like, do I want to go for it? Is it going to be a good game for it? But yeah, this Witchblade damage is very, very good. It gives you True Strike against Radiance on the Lifestealer.
See if he fully commits to that, right? He's still got a lot of gold needed for either item. Binding over, and there's the Arcane Curse in the last word. Rue snowballs, and eventually he will die here. It's going to be to Nisha. That'll be some brain drain. Saberlight hit with the Impalement Arts moving forward. Maposhka now in trouble. Escape acting. Strongman's tonic and infested into. Tame the beast. They've got the fear. It's on to Saberlight for a moment, but he gets under the tower, and Nisha's still here, but doesn't have a lot of mana. Ball Lightning slowing him down. Popping out on the infest. Maposhka and avoiding the power shot, but still gonna die. Using all those souvenirs really well.
Saberlight used Void Stance so that he has extra bit of status resistance. Tame the Beast didn't last for like 0.2 seconds. Immediately he's coming back into the fight. Liquid is also very limited on the tower damage until Tiny comes online, and we said that Tiny is very slow. Echo Saber, he wants to pick up his shard, get his Shadow Blade, and then starts to be more active. There's a lot of stacks in the triangle for Mickey. Mickey managed to recover real nicely, considering everything that he died 3 times in first like 6-7 minutes. He's still in a pretty good spot.
Eating these stacks, manja. Trying to get towards the top of the net worth.
I got hungry from all of that.
It does make me want to go get some food. They'll try to get the tier 1 tower over mid. They've got Collapse, Laurel, and Yatoro here. So it's
another deny. That's the second deny.
2 for 3, I believe.
Rodan is not too happy about this one.
One of the small things that'll keep you close in a game. Taking away that gold, you know? Laurel had pretty significant impact early on, and more impact than Nisha had coming out of the lane initially. The net worth, though, is starting to go Nisha's way, and he has recovered well. We're going to come in here and potentially look to pressure. He's got Walrus Punch now available, and he's doing what we've seen a lot of these Tusks do, go for an early Blink Dagger. We saw Mira like to do that. Blink into a Walrus Punch Snowball combo and shards right on them is a lot of lockdown that can make things very difficult for Team Liquid. Saberlight's going to get that tower. The way really against those shards for most of the is a Ball Lightning over the shards or the Void Panda pull.
Limited amount of control until that Orchid comes online, and it is ready on Laurel. So if they can find Nisha, that's going to be pretty big. But Nisha, he's baiting. Seems like they know. Smoke didn't break.
Nobody moved.
If Nisha zips in, luckily for him, Rune is on the other side.
Again. It was a regen rune. Could have been big, honestly. Yeah, I was curious about this. This Orchid built for the first time on Monkey King.
Wanted to hit an earlier timing. We'll see how much value he's going to get out of it.
Because if you're dominating, you're going lane to lane, you've got this Orchid, you really, it just makes you snowball. But they slowed it down so well on Liquid to kind of ease the bleeding. And now they even think about going on Laurel instead. Power shot in, Global Silence used. They go to the Primal Split. They'll get the kill on a Laurel. The TP in for Collapse. They've got the Shackle. It's always the one in the back, and Yaturo's here too. So Radon finds Insania. Should get a kill on a Silencer as he's slowed up and taken out by Collapse. But that is a trade that Liquid are willing to make every day of the week. They just need to not lose Saberlight. And again, he's on one of these travels where can he juke out the entire side of Spirit? All he needs to do is try to TP, but the Tame the Beast fear is there, and they will get another kill. So that works out okay for Spirit. The whole time, though, Mickey, you know, he's top of the net worth again here, right with Yatoro.
Shard is getting delivered on Mickey, so that's going to be his farming tool. It's not like he has been active, but once he picks up Shadowblade, this is going to be go time. Mickey, we saw during previous Wallachia him having a lot of success on the hero. I think his win rate was something like 90%. It's insane how well Team Liquid plays with Tiny. He's going to zip in one more time. And something that we did talk about, that in every single kill, pretty much it needs to be Nisha. And ever since the laning stage ended, he's been pretty active, zipping in. First usage of the Global Silence. They get that Monkey King. Sure, you get a return kill, but still very good overall from Liquid.
Give me those galvanized stacks. Global Silence on cooldown for another 30 seconds, but it's not stopping the side of Liquid for looking for kills. Kaya Yasha after this Witchblade for Nisha. They're gonna work on taking this Tormentor. And they will get a shard for Miposhka, so he'll have Spotlight now. See how this Spotlight works out for them as the game kind of progresses. Other shard, I mean, the Tusk shard early has felt very strong.
It's very good for farming up your Blink Dagger, for dealing more damage in the team fights.
Because you'd like to have that. That shard...
Extra bit of a slow. You have shards, you put down Reflection. They're not getting out of it. Radon, so far, pretty much having a perfect game, but Mickey did take over. Didn't die a single time on Lifestealer. They don't have abilities that go through debuff immunity other than Global Silence, so they might need to try to surprise him once, try to grab that kill during the Global before he can get the Manta style off. Sure, there's a second round of Silence, but it's not that long. I also think that we're going to get rid of this facet. Next patch, I think this facet is gone.
I think they'll make it Silence 3 times. I'll go the other way. Static Remnant will pop on Laurel as they look for Nisha. No mana remaining, but fills it up with the water nearby in the river and sips on some fresh water bottle.
Kaya now completed. He has Mystical. Enchantment did change it up a little bit. Did go for tough, so extra bit of armor, which is nice. I mean, you are playing into 3 physical damage cores. Saberlight is the one who's struggling a lot. Like, he is very close to Miposhka in terms of net worth. Sure, Miposhka got the shard for free, but still, you would want to have that Radiance online slightly faster.
So Tiny this time going into this Shadow Blade. They're gonna look. Shackle, but rages and is able to escape. Laurel's here. But the Shadow Blade, they've got the Avalanche. Snowball comes in, the toss up into the air, and Laurel's just dead.
Enough.
Roof follows him into the grave too. Maybe not expecting the extra help, but Mickey is here with a Shadow Blade. And he does have that Gossamer Cape with the alert extra, so the 17 attack speed and the extra bonus night vision.
Bonus night vision is sometimes very underrated as an enchantment on certain heroes, because you are the one who's seeing them first, especially if they're not smoked up. And now Team Liquid, for the first time, taking the lead in this game.
Feeling pretty all right. Radiance for Yatoro and Radiant soon for Saberlight. He's closing in on his. He's only 400 gold away. And he's been farming for free over bottom. He was close to Miposhka, but now he's doing all right. They've got Silence, though. The Shackle connects. There's going to be some Orchid burn, but Nisha not dying means he'll easily just ball lightning away. And immediately off that, buys a Ghost Scepter.
I said this is something that I do say quite a lot during some of these games where you have all 3 cores dealing same type of damage. Sure, there is Radiant, so that's a bit of magical damage coming out, but it's very easy to itemize. We're going to be seeing Crimson Guard most likely on Brewmaster as his next item. We're going to be seeing Solar Crest on the supports as well, Force Staff to push you out of the trouble, and this Ghost Scepter could be a very valuable item on Nisha. This has to be the fastest Ghost Scepter. Maybe not this tournament for sure. We haven't really seen it. We saw quite a lot of Ghost Scepter on supports, but on Storm Spirit, I don't think this happened. I think this is one of the few times because you want to opt to go for different items, pick up some kind of a Dispel mechanic, Yule Scepter, BKB in certain situations, but Nisha figuring out that he doesn't need to go for these expensive items. Ghost Scepter is going to do the trick.
Shadowblade from Mickey with Saberlight showing bottom, and over in the Croaker camp, Collapse gets under the tower, but Avalanche, Global Silence tossed up, Primal Split, they've got some control, they need to get the kill before he's able to get the Sunder off, they will. Collapse is dead, Walrus Punch though, only on one of the Pandas. They're trying to get this Earth Panda away, Power Shot stops through, and now all of a sudden...
And the Radiance burn.
Ooh, it is burning, but do they have another Power Shot here?
Saberlight.
Ooh, they do!
Boxy actually sniped him. Team Liquid, they're playing so well. Saberlight is like, I'll return the favor, and there's also going to be stealing the XP rune on the other side of the map. Nisha, level 14.
Boxy has had such big impact in this series. Ooh. What a view of the shrine.
I didn't even know that angle exists.
In Dota, yeah, it's always from this one top-down view. Okay, buying time, ball lightning into the vortex, the turnaround. Now, Yatoro's in trouble. He'll have Collapse to infest into, but can they get the control to Collapse? The look over as Zoro goes to the Boundless Strike, the look for the damage onto the Storm.
Ghost
His
Scepter,
Silence,
he's burning.
Ghost Scepter tossed out of the Wukongs, but the Orchid Burn still kills him. Shackle not going to do anything. The shards are in front of Saberlight, who doesn't have the Primal Split. But they've got the Power Shot once again. Insania off to the side. Mickey coming with a Shadow Blade. The Boundless Strike hits him, though. Avalanche thrown out. They've got the Sunder. It's on a Radon now. Into the fight is Boxy. He's silenced up, but the right click's coming in from Insania. He'll get +1. He's starting to brain. He's starting to drain. But they want this amplified damage on a Mickey.
Another combo.
Oh,
no
toss.
Radon.
The Avalanche, the kill. Laurel, Boundless Strike. Can they at least get Insania? No, they can't. Oh, dear. Saberlight into the face of this Terra Blade. But there's the Wheel of Wonder with the fear of the Tame the Beast. That's enough control to get the kill.
Okay, still wants to take that fight.
It hit onto this Insania silencer, but he's not going to get caught by Collapse. Mickey low, Mickey gone, and it is a full team fight that just goes back and forth with so many deaths.
If that amplified damage didn't spawn, like 3-4 heroes wouldn't die because they would definitely go back. But I want to see damage from Mickey. Almost 8,000 damage coming out from him in the previous fight. Good Sunder that he used on Lifestealer, but Lifestealer, unfortunately, considering that fight was so long, ran out of mana. And Mickey, he carried that fight heavily. Almost saved Storm Spirit as well.
They did find Yatoro at the end of the day. Spicy fight. A little prickly.
Everybody's itemizing the same way. Nisha was thinking about finishing Yashakaya, but instead he's going for Manta. This has to be pretty much the only time. Maybe somebody in some like Herald bracket did do it, not knowing what the items do, but Manta style on Storm Spirit plus a Ghost Scepter, this is not something that you see every day. In the end, he's gonna opt to go for that Yashakaya.
He still wants a Manta, though.
Yeah, he can get it. Like, for now, he got it, and he's going to disassemble it and then go back to Manta style. Because Orchid is pretty big, this Orchid pickup. We were wondering how much value they're going to get from it, and they definitely did. And even Tiny picking up Manta Style, he's going for the Ghost. Everybody's buying the same items. There needs to be a nullifier.
It's a group project. Everybody's copying each other's homework.
Dire's middle tower.
Saberlight, he was moving forward looking for collapse. They find him with the Boundless Strike. They go to the Primal Split. The Global Silence comes through. They've got the Orchid on Anisha, who pops that Ghost Scepter. They've infested into this
Shackle
Tusk.
on TB.
Shackle after the Void Panda pull. So that lined up quite nicely. Power Shot comes in. There's the Escape Act onto the Tusk. He's able to walk away for a moment, but the toss, the dunk, the shot, he scores. Rue, the first one dead on the side of Team Spirit. The reflection, but the Shackle connects once again. Power Shot in, as well as the Avalanche. They go to the Wheel of Wonder. They've got the Tame the Beast. That'll lock down Mickey for a moment. The Impalement Arts lands. The damage being taken by Mickey, but he's going to be able to soak it up with the Crimson Guard on him. Sunder on Aurora to try and keep him alive, but the damage coming in from Nisha as well as Saberlight is too much for him to handle. Avalanche lands on a 2. Rue's on the run, and now they'll get the kill to collapse. They take him out, but Yatoro, he at least wants Insania. They get the kill on Rue.
That's a dieback from him.
This is a big problem for Spirit. Shackle connects, but he's raged. And he'll get the kill onto Insania. Can they continue for any more? Nisha's a little bit low. He needs to be careful. He doesn't have a lot of mana. And the Tame the Beast lands. Maposhka gets the kill. And here comes Yatoro.
Here comes Croaker.
A little bit of a Croaker grief. As Boxy comes back in. Shackle again defended with the rage. But they thunderclap. And they look for Maposhka. But the Infest save. Maposhka's got no mana, but now he's got enough life to walk away from the fight, and Saberlight's gonna walk away as he's realized he's had too much.
Another really big fight. You can see that they're really pushing the limits. Again, Mickey surviving in a fight, Manta Style removing that Orchid, and again, he opted to go for a Ghost Scepter. 7,000 damage, almost 8,000 damage this time around from Brewmaster. He is not afraid. He knows that in terms of lockdown, he's always gonna be able to get his split off. And the boys. These are the new boys.
Voila. They just talk about griefing all game. They wait for somebody to step into the camp. 4,000 net worth lead, but the game is feeling super back and forth, super close between these two teams. Laurel needs this BKB. He has struggled to have major impact in the fights.
Yeah, I said that they need a nullifier. I see 2 queued up on Team Spirit. 1 on Laurel, 1 on Collapse. Still very far away from it, but yeah, this is gonna be Manta Style completed for Nisha Storm Spirit. In 1,000 gold, he's gonna have it.
Manta's on all 3 cores. You don't see this all day.
Oh.
And the Silver Edge next. Then the Harpoon. Has been a really good game from Yatoro, though. He has weaved through these fights quite well. 4-1 and 6. Done what he can, or has done what he can to try and, salvage some of these fights. The TP to the tier 2, he wasn't that far away, but a little bit quicker than being able to walk down there where he's able to infest, save Maposhka, get a couple of kills. He's knocking out Insania away from the fight while he's at least grabbing something here and there. And it's led him into a decent position so far.
Our Obs already knows which item is going to be chosen. Galeguard, too valuable of an item. He did go for Mystical. Panda does need to have some kind of extra mana regen. And something to point out is that Brewmaster did go for Thunderclap. He did put multiple points into it. It's 60% slow, attack slow, and movement speed slow. A lot of the times you see people skipping it completely, sometimes having 1 point in it, and the boys that we're seeing on the screen...
The Boglets!
Yeah, they're gonna start to grow as time progresses.
I have a dream. When I get older, I'm gonna be a croaker.
Oh, I thought it was one of the other dreams that you told me about the other day. Nisha's in.
Yeah, Laurel's in trouble. The tree got taken out, but they've got the escape act, and now they've got Yatoro in the face of Mickey, but everybody's got a Ghost Scepter. They're looking to tell you the story of the Ghost Scepter, and now they look for the Thunderclap. The BKB's gonna be popped. They go to the Global Silence. They've used the Primal Split. Yatoro's in, trying to help out Laurel, but there's the Snowball charged up. Nisha all the way over to Laurel, who's gonna be infested into. He's back to half health. Collapse, though. He's looking for a target to Sunder. The toss up into the air. They get the kill on Rue as well as Laurel. Now Yatoro going in for Insania with a Force Staff onto the low ground, and now he's in trouble. The Void Panda pulls him back. They get the kill on Maposhka. They land the Shackle. It's onto Yatoro, and now he's trying to run. He has that Manta, but he doesn't have the life. 4 heroes dead. Collapse in trouble. Mickey
They're same
just
HP, so he
chasing
can't
him down,
sunder.
and he gets the kill. Full team wipe for Liquid.
This is one of the few deaths of Rodon, but they're playing the fight so well, not dying on a single hero.
How? I mean,
it's just the difference between him and Brewmaster. They're swapping every single fight. It seems like they're competing who's going to be dealing more damage, and they're guiding the fight nicely. Again, Brewmaster with his itemization, knowing that he can run in and just deal the damage, provide vision for his team. Nisha, at this point, he does have Shield Rune available, so he's going to pop that. And the Ghost Scepters are causing massive issues. I think... I know it's not the most common thing to do, especially early on, but considering that these nullifiers are still very far away, Lifestealer might disassemble his Radiance and get the nullifier.
I think you need it. You have to have... I would almost say you need more than one, but I don't know.
Okay, he's queuing it up as we're saying it. It's a massive issue. They definitely need to do something, because we see these 3 Manta styles, we see multiple Ghost Scepters. All 3 cores on Spirit are actually trying to pick up nullifiers.
You guys get Ghost Scepter, I tap 2 mana and play Nullifier.
Pika was trying to teach me Magic the Gathering, and he's just making shit up. Whenever he starts losing, we have a different set of rules. But back to the game, because this game is pretty hyped. That Manta style and Storm Spirit, Kaya has been disassembled with Kaya Yasha. Ooh, he wanted to plant some deep vision. Poshka trying to TP out.
Got him.
That last tick.
23 galvanized stacks. Also, I will say, we talked about how much save is there for Spirit built in, and then everybody on Liquid bought save. They were like, all right, Ghost Scepters, we know it. They find Collapse, and they're through the Twin Gate. They've got the Harpoon, the toss into the air, and that is Mickey getting another.
Throughout the whole game, not allowing him to get those Sunders off. Nisha has Ghost Scepter, has Manta style, and they lock it down from 100 to 0. Global silence. He's fine. Gale Guard as well. There's a lot of buttons to be clicked.
He wants to go back in. He's waiting for this. He wants to go in because the rest of his team is coming through the Twin Gate. Dust used, Mickey walking through with that Silver Edge dusted up so they know that he's coming. And Laurel, he's here at a bird's eye view, but can't really find a target to swoop down on. You can see immediately Nisha was just like, all right, they're up there. They just killed Collapse. We're gonna.
If you showed someone this item build, this would be very hard to guess on Storm Spirit who actually bought those items.
I saw it in an episode of Jenkins Herald Review for sure.
I'm sure there was one.
Toss, Shackle.
The Shackle combo.
Little alley-oop. But the balance strike from Morrow with the BKB. They try to go to the Wukong's command, get the damage out. They get the kill to Insania, so they don't have the silencer, but they end up losing Laurel. It's a trade. Well worth it for Liquid. The Primal split, the toss, and now Yatoro, he's in trouble. He has to infest into a creep to try and run, but he's going to pop out. He goes into the BKB, but how long will it last? Is it long enough? The Cyclone now, Baposhka gone. 3 years dead. They're going to buy back on Laurel to try and turn this one around. Mickey's got about half health, but he stands his ground there with Nisha, the balance strike. He jumps to the other side. They go to Collapse, and now they've got the Avalanche. Down goes Yatoro and Laurel. Another team wipe for Liquid.
That's a buyback from Collapse as well. This might just be it. The control that they do have on the HUD coming up from the Brewmaster.
It's so much, and the damage from Mickey is huge.
And look at Saberlight turning off his Radiance. He does not want to burn his team just in case Reflection comes through. And seems like they want to go for an end. Mickey, he's still holding that Aegis. Gets the full Butterfly. This is what I'm talking about, the easy itemization. All of these Ghost Scepters, Manta styles that they do have, even Vlad's on Wind Ranger. And now Butterfly. How many items you need to counter all of that they do have? MKB, Nullifier, way too much. 35 seconds, no Laurel.
The spotlight is on Liquid, both in the game and from the viewers in the chat as they look as Liquid are trying to seal up this 2-0 over Spirit. The throne is exposed and it is low. They've got the shackle, they'll call GG, they lock it down, and they confirm it. 2-0 for Liquid over Team Spirit in this upper bracket semifinal.
From Team Liquid. This has to be one of the craziest game I've seen from them. They're the defending champions.